267-495-4866 or DougCarnsProgram@gmail.com. That's how you can get in touch with me. It is the Doug Carns Program here on All Noise Radio. All right, Joe, we were just talking about Obama and how he's such a great guy to Israel, isn't he?
Absolutely.
I mean,
he loves them.
He does.
He is the best president when it comes to dealing with Israel
that
we've had ever.
No, and he came out and said that his administration has done more for Israel's security than any other president.
I don't know how you can't see that.
It's so obvious. I mean, he put in Egypt and Libya all these Jew-hating organizations, right?
Yeah.
So that's good for Israel, right? Oh wait, no, it's not actually.
No, not really.
It's actually bad times for Israel. But I mean, this all goes down because I started the show was about there was this movement on Twitter over the weekend of using the hashtag Israel hates. So on Twitter, if you use a hashtag and a lot of people use it and it trends a lot, it actually moves up on the trending list, and you can see that it's in the top 10 trending. And it was all weekend. I believe it was number one.
It was number 2 or number 1 for the most part.
Yep, for most of the weekend. So, and it was basically everybody saying what they hate about Israel. And these are average Americans saying this, which I just don't get. What did Israel ever do to us?
I don't know if they're average Americans. It's maybe the younger crowd, the more technological crowd.
I would probably say it's definitely the college students.
Yeah,
because
the ones that use Twitter and Facebook all the time.
And I hate to say it, this might be another topic for the next show, Joe, but their Essie Cupp from GBTV, she did an investigation on anti-Semitism on college campuses, and she found a lot. So she's
doing a lot of work on college campuses.
Yeah, she actually is doing a good job with young conservatives from colleges that are surrounded by major progressive liberals. So anyway, we were playing this audio because there seems to be some of this outlash against Israel in the past year or two. For some reason, I don't know what Israel ever did to anybody besides let any religion they want in their own country pray, and let any Muslim, any Christian serve in the Knesset. You can't find that in any other Muslim country. So why is there such hatred for the Jews? I mean, it happened in the 1930s and 1940s. Are we saying it can't happen again? Because it seems to be in the Middle East, it's ramping up to happen again. Another Holocaust. But let's go ahead and play the rest of this audio here.
Threatening. After Israel intercepted a terrorist flotilla trying to break the Gaza arms blockade, Erdogan called it cause for war and said Israel had to pay a price for its aggression and crimes. The Obama administration then pressured Israel to apologize to Turkey over the incident. Throughout the upheavals of the so-called Arab Spring, Obama refused to help the democratic opposition forces of Israel's enemies Iran and Syria, but led the charge against Libyan strongman Muammar Gaddafi.
Today we can definitively say that the Gaddafi regime has come to an end.
By overthrowing Gaddafi, Obama delivered another Arab country into the hands of Jew-hating Islamists and America's enemies. In the aftermath of the U.S.-sponsored intervention in Libya, as many as 20,000 shoulder-held surface-to-air missiles went missing. Each one is capable of shooting down a commercial airliner. Some of them have already turned up in the Sinai Peninsula on their way to the terrorist regime in Gaza. And thanks to Obama's intervention in Egypt, leading to the ouster of America's ally President Mubarak, the Hitler-admiring Muslim Brotherhood is now the most powerful political force in the country.
So just like we said, the Muslim Brotherhood is now one of the major powers in Egypt. And you hear in the video that they adore Hitler.
They admire him.
So
I knew there was a connection.
Yeah.
ever since the 40s.
Yeah. I mean, so where in Israel's security was Obama defending? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's been hurting Israel's security ever since he's gotten into office. So to blatantly lie and say that he... And again, this is stuff that little me and Joe figure out. I'm pretty sure the president who gets briefed every single day was told that this stuff could happen if we help take down Mubarak and Gaddafi.
Yeah.
And if not, then you need a whole new security team because, maybe me and Joe can be it for Obama.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and there's an agenda against
Israel. I didn't say that. You said that, Joe. But I would totally agree with you. But you have to. It's either you're really, really stupid or you're meaning to do this.
Well, there is that fine line that you got to kind of, toe the line there with either have Gaddafi, keep him in power, or...
He was a brutal dictator.
Yeah. Or, what has happened? We basically got him kicked out. He got killed. And you got the Muslim Brotherhood taking over. But I think going about it and taking Gaddafi out was a good road, but we could have done a better job in the transition process.
And this is why the libertarian in me, I know some people don't agree with that, would say just don't meddle in their affairs. Just, hey,
Sure.
they have a dictator, because then
that's their problem.
And then we would have to nation build because we took out Mubarak and Gaddafi. Now we have to stay there and help rebuild, do the same thing we did in Iraq, which was a huge waste of time, because I guarantee you within 10 years Iraq is going to be a hellhole again.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, again, that transition process, you either let them go, and that's what happens with the Muslim Brotherhood, or you nation build, and either one's not very appetizing.
No, it doesn't do any good for us, and doesn't do any good for them, because their lifestyle, they want to live, most of them, I mean, the ones that are getting into power want to live in Sharia law, which says, which give women no rights, it gives homosexuals no rights. It basically is one of the strictest laws known to man, and if you do something wrong, you get the penalty of death without a trial.
You get stoned.
You get stoned to death. Yeah. And this is what we're facing. And nobody's paying attention to it. There's this big uprising in the Middle East, and it's coming against Israel, and we need to be there to defend them. That's the only really true ally we have anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, name another ally that we have that's besides maybe Britain.
Pakistan.
Yeah, Pakistan. Yeah,
Love them.
They're burning our flags right now in the streets. I mean, we have Great Britain, but they're weak as anything right now. Their economy is about to crash. Their military is not built up like it used to be.
And you can't really count on France.
Oh, no.
Couldn't really never.
I wasn't even going to bring it up because I thought everybody knew that.
Sorry. Tried to give them a chance, but.
But this is something that you, listening right now, need to pay attention to, because you don't want to be the one that didn't know anything and Israel was wiped off the map. And you say, well, why? Why did this happen? It's because we didn't pay attention as Americans. We didn't put enough pressure on our congressmen, our president, our senators, and whoever. We need to help take care of Israel. And what our president is doing right now, I don't think reflects most of the Americans in this country.
Yeah.
He reflects some of them, but not the majority.
No. And like a lot of things in this country, we haven't figured out a lot of things until it's too late.
Exactly.
Like the economy and like this Israel situation.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot. Some people saw the economy crashing in 2008.
Very few, yeah.
And it wasn't the normal stockbrokers, the accountants, the ones that have to do with the money. They all thought, everything was just going to be fine. Everything was going to be fine. And then Lehman Brothers went, and we almost had a Great Depression on our hands if we didn't pass TARP. So this is why people need to pay more attention and actually find the facts, find out what's going on. Because I want to say that I never supported our president trashing Israel. At least I can say I'm putting my foot down and I'm totally against what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He does not represent me. And God forbid something would happen in Israel, I would feel completely bad that our country helped that between Libya and Egypt and pissing off Pakistan. And Israel and America have already pissed off Iran. Yeah. They want to destroy both of us. We're the great Satan, and Israel's the little Satan. And for them to accomplish their religious goals, they need to kill the Satan, which would be Israel and America.
And well, hopefully these crazies will wait till after the 2012 election.
Well,
Well, if Obama gets reelected, then there's trouble, but
yeah. I mean,
we'll see.
the election is a whole other story because, let's just talk about it now because we only have a couple minutes left in the break. But on the Drudge Report today, Glenn Beck had Newt Gingrich on an interview, and apparently, I mean, I didn't hear anything surprising because I kind of knew who Newt Gingrich was, but a lot of people were turned off by his interview today. Joe, I know you didn't get to hear it, but I know you kind of been supporting him because it seems like he's the best guy to win right now.
Yeah,
and
he
seems.
Like in 2008, you had McCain and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the least of the least.
No, and that's what we were
Evil.
saying off air was before we came on the show. Last election I voted against somebody. I didn't vote for somebody. I didn't want McCain, but I certainly did not want Obama.
I don't
saw
like
his-
that. I don't like voting
No,
against somebody.
who
I want to
does?
vote for somebody.
Yeah, I want to say this is the person that I want in office. I don't want to say I got to vote for this person because the other person sucks even more. That's not how it's supposed to work. And this is exactly what we're coming to again. We're coming to really, 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 really big government on one side, or really, really big government on the other side.
I'm afraid we're running out of options. It's coming down
We
to
are.
Gingrich and Romney.
I know.
And
I'm hoping this gaffe with the Beck interview today, because it made the headlines on the internet. Which, like I said, I listened to it live, and I didn't find any issues with it. I thought I knew exactly who he was, but I think a lot of people kind of woke up to who he was. I mean, this guy took money from Fannie and Freddie. He's a big government guy. He wants health care in a different way than Obamacare. He's basically just a less bigger government guy, but still a big government, progressive.
yeah, and if I would recommend listening to this interview, I haven't listened to it, but I'm going to. But from what you've told me, you can learn a lot about Gingrich from this interview.
Yeah, and it's all in his past too, because Glenn, he played a lot of clips from what he said in the '90s, and Newt pretty much reinforced what he said and said, "Yeah, that's what I believe." My two picks are Bachmann and Santorum, but like we were saying,
They
are so far behind.
It's too late.
Those two would be perfect on the same ticket.
I
let
love
alone-
Santorum.
Yeah, Santorum, he gets it on everything. The Middle East, the economy. He wants to abolish the Fed, which, by the way, I hate the Fed. The Fed is talking about bailing out Europe.
Oh, we have plenty of money for that.
Oh, we have tons of money. We have so much money. We're swimming in our money. I mean, we just had to step over $1 trillion to get into this place because we have so much money laying around.
We're going to bail out an entire continent because we have so much money.
Oh, so much money. Except for, Joe, we're actually $15 trillion in debt. Well, actually, no. We're actually $50 trillion in debt because we have unfunded liabilities that we still haven't accouned for.
Yeah.
But anyways, don't
big
mind that.
deal.
Don't mind that.
We'll just
But-
bail out the
Yeah.
the entire continent of Europe.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So we'll talk about this later in the show, but the Fed is so unconstitutional, it's not even funny. They are a private entity that takes all of our public tax money, and we don't have a say to what the Fed does with that money. They can do whatever they want. The Congress can hold hearings and see what they did, but a lot of it's private. And they said, that's behind closed doors. You can't see what's going on there. All right, so we're up against a break. When we come back, if you haven't heard, Adam Carolla, the comedian, came out and bashed Occupy Wall Street. So we'll play that audio when we come right back.